Is it recording? Yes, it is. Okay. Hi. I am Gwen Raimundi. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist associate here in the state of Washington in the U.S. I specialize in trauma, grief, embodiment, and their intersections, and I work with individuals and groups online. My individual work is done via Zoom, and then my online groups are done in a variety of ways. And this is the first video in a three-part series on safeness, stabilization, and self-care. And the essay that goes with this first video defined what I mean by each of those things. What is safeness? What is having a sense of safeness? What is stabilization? What does that look like? And what does emotional stabilization look like? And what is self-care? And the need for us to really define self-care to be about ourself and not about others. And I'm sharing all of this. I'm writing this series because I think it's really important for us to look at the ideas of having a sense of safeness, of feeling emotionally stable, and of viewing self-care as something that we do for ourselves and that we aren't doing for others as part of our trauma and embodiment work, and also as part of our grief work too. But especially when we talk about trauma, because for those of us who experienced trauma as children, and the trauma was inflicted on us by someone who is a caregiver, one of the messages that we receive is that our body is not our own, and that we are there to be used and of service to others, whether that service be sexual service, whether that be where someone else is punching bag, whether that be we are there for someone to emotionally abuse and vent at, right? But our purpose as children is to serve the adults who are supposed to be caring for us. And therefore, we do not have an identity in and of ourselves beyond that being of service piece. And when we start to take that apart, when we start to take apart that idea of actually, I am an autonomous human being, yes, we are all interconnected, and we are interconnected autonomous beings, right? That my sole purpose in life is not to be of service to other people, but to actually be me, right? And be my individual self. That, I believe, is part of our trauma work. And when I say that, to become autonomous and to realize that our sole purpose in life is not to serve other people, I am not talking about us being individualistic and going off and doing it all ourselves and being, the one and only in our lives, right? I don't believe that. We are humans. As humans, we are interconnected. As humans, we are social. As humans, we need each other to grow and thrive and survive. That is true. And while we all make up this system and we all are interconnected and we absolutely do all need each other, it is also true that we are each an individual part in that, and that we have our own unique qualities, and that we have our own unique gifts and wants and needs, right, as an individual, that may or may not have anything to do with the collective. Yes, we are part of the collective. We are all integral parts of the collective, and we are also individuals, right? It's that non-dual thinking. It's the both and. It's not either or, right? It is both and. We can be autonomous. We can be what we call in psychology differentiated or individuated, right? And still be part of a system. In fact, we are part of a system, whether we acknowledge it or not, right? We're all part of the systems that are at play in our lives, be that our family systems, be that our community systems, be that the network that is our religious affiliation or political affiliation, right? Any of that, right? It's all a system, and we are part of that. And we are an individual, right? We're an individual who is a part of many different kinds of systems, many different systems. But it's that individual piece, right? That really defining and claiming me as me, for me, that is what I think is real, I believe is really important in our trauma work. And the safeness and stabilization are the first phase of any trauma work that you do. That developing that sense of safeness within yourself, within your environment, and in relationship is vital. You have to have that. And you have to have a sense of being relatively stable emotionally and not being overwhelmed and flooded all the time and not having knee-jerk reactions all the time to everything, right? Those are vital. You have to have that before you can really do that deeper work, the deeper embodiment work, the deeper trauma processing work. You have to have that. I also believe that it is important that we start developing the idea of our sense as an autonomous self, and really understanding the boundaries of where we end and where others begin, and really claiming ourself for us. So that's it. This series, the essay and video series, are as an introduction to the Thai Basics program that I am offering that begins on May 1st. Last year when I offered this program, it was called Self-Care for Challenging Times. I have changed it because it is basically, not basically, it is the very basic first components of the Thai approach that I have developed, the trauma-informed embodiment approach that I have developed. We begin on May 1st, like I said, and I'd love for you to join us. The link to the program is down below if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching this on my blog, it's also below. And there's also a link to, if you're watching this on YouTube, there's a link to the essay that goes with this video. I hope this was helpful and informative, and I look forward to connecting with you in the future. Bye.